Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Factorio Bob's Angels. And you may notice we are at normal speed. It is current me. Don't really get to see much of current me. I think I've done a little bit of recording while at normal speed. But I thought what has happened kind of needs explaining at real time. So I'll get to it. Yeah, basically I've had a few problems. I was going to do a live stream yesterday, but a couple of things happened that stopped me from doing that. I've never done it before, so I need to set up all the stuff and kind of make it semi-professional. There's still going to be problems, but yeah, I thought I'd do a little play at the start of this just to explain what's happened. Basically, I was very, very stupid. I was taking a copy of the game directory ready for 0.15, which is fine. That all worked okay. I had one directory running 0.15, and I had another directory for 0.14, which worked fine. I could carry on doing the series, no problems there. And when I loaded up 0.15 to have my first go, I thought, I don't want all these saves in here, I'll get rid of it. Deleted them all, carried it on as normal, not thinking anything, because I do take fairly regular backups, maybe once every week or 2 weeks, depending on what's happening in my schedule. And I basically went and deleted all of my saves, and my last backup was 2 weeks old. So I had a bit of a panic, and then spent that evening, I think it was Monday night, 0.15 came out, all on Monday night, and Tuesday trying to sort the problem out. So basically I kind of deleted all of my saves, everything, all my old saves, and then because I'd played a little bit of 0.15, I'd started writing data to that directory on my hard drive. Now, I have a habit of doing shift delete every single time. I don't believe in trash bins. And this is exactly one of those occasions where I probably could have done with one. So I do have a couple of pieces of recovery software which found a lot of saves, all of which were corrupt and unrecoverable, or recoverable and unusable. So I was very upset. I spent, I think, about nearly 15, 16 hours trying to sort the problem out so I could carry on with the series. And I certainly didn't want to do 2 weeks of playback, because one of those weeks were like 2 weeks of episodes for that 10-day trip I did. So yeah, all the recovery software didn't help. I finally got a program called Shadow Explorer, which basically looks at shadow copies of files, and I was able to retrieve a save game from 3 or 4 episodes ago. I think it was from the start of episode 49. So sadly it didn't include that 2 hours and 40 minutes of biter slaying I did in episode 50, which is very frustrating because that took me a very long, 2 hours 40 minutes. So what I've done is I've loaded that save. I spent most of yesterday evening trying to get that save back up to where we are, and I've kind of got it in the same place. The only problem was I did a load of mod updates just to try and help and see if that deals with the lag issues I've been having, because I didn't want to keep using the biter slaying command doesn't go against my gaming code, moral code, whatever you call it. I really shouldn't record like this. I can't edit the stupid things I say now. But anyway, we are now running at a fairly good FPS UPS, because I think it was Bob's Warfare or Rampant AI, and it seems to be fixed. I've not done the biter slaying for a while. I mean, it's going to take a lot of playtime just to make sure. But yeah, because we're in this mode, it gives me an opportunity to have a look at the map. And one of the mods that's updated is the map colors and stuff. We're still in 0.15, so we don't have the fancy new stuff from 0.15. But this is the main area we cleared in episode 50, which I've done again. I'd built these defenses exactly the same as I'd started doing. So we've now got... Oh, I can look things up, can't I? We've now got Mark 4 laser turrets, because I thought, being as I've got this time, it's not in recordings, I might as well get them upgraded, because Bob's Warfare has upgraded all the biters, and they are so much more destructive against walls. Again, the power armor's still ridiculously OP, but I had a lot more work trying to clear them. And places like this, where I've got random sniper turrets, don't last anywhere near as long. Places like this defense wall here over at the Rubite start getting attacked where usually it would never get touched. So I need to do all of this. And this area is in big jeopardy. Especially this wall. This still needs upgrading to lasers. So I had to upgrade the lasers. It took me quite a while. But yeah, the biters are a lot more destructive. The way their projectiles work is a lot different. They're not auto-targeting so much like the old laser graphics but they're a lot more deadly against walls. They're explosives and everything like that. They seem a lot tougher. It took me a lot longer to clear it, but we'll see more of that when I do some more biter slaying. So at this speed, I wanted to just go through what I've done that may be slightly different and what I'm doing. So this wall was never in. I think these were here. So this is done. This is all just lasers now. I might need to do some clearing around here because they are just constantly coming around and depleting power. I need to finish this wall, which will include this stirritite, and it will go up here. It'll probably go like that. I need to finish this wall here, which has now started getting attacked occasionally. And this is still a big problem in terms of defense. This needs doing, but it's not really been a problem. I've not had to do anything with it because it's nice and far. If they don't establish a base nearby, nothing really happens. So yeah, I've kind of got everything up the same, apart from maybe a bit of upgrading here and there. But nothing major's really been missed. We've got concrete now, which is great. I've got loads of it. We might as well just do this while I'm at normal speed while I blabber on. That should fit nicely. Yeah, so this was the plan all along. I just never really got round to it. Yeah, it's great. I love it. Look at that. But yeah, the updating of the mods was maybe a bit of a dangerous thing, but because of my mod backup, they weren't quite the right version, I think, something like that. But yeah, I decided to update them. Why not? It's not going to hurt. And what was the other thing? Oh yeah, so there's some other changes I've done. I've moved the alien science and the yellow science to here. So you've got the yellow science packs now being made here because all of these three are available here. Why am I... Oh, they do have them. It's fine. So they have to carry them. The bots have to carry them less. Same with the alien science because they're coming from the storage area here, which I need to enlarge as well. This should be filling this whole area, but I've not really been using it enough to justify it. And the alien science is made here as well. That's all here. It's all moduled up now. So that's the only major difference, is that I've moved it from over... Sorry, not module science. Alien science and the yellow science packs. The module science is still over here because all the materials for constructing it are come off the bus just down here. So that's my reasoning for it here and back over here. This is nice being able to run around and look stuff up. It's just no editing, but oh well. Get some raw Ben, but yeah. I'm going to work on modules soon. But this episode, I think we're going to get on with doing copper and iron properly. So we're going to go from the start, right from the train station. We're going to upgrade belts all the way, possibly to green. Although we can have a quick look now to see if that's a majorly stupid idea. Get that upgraded all the way down to the smelting area and onto the bus. So we're majorly sorted out there. So do we have them? I think we do, yeah. So what do we need? Oh, we're going to need nitinol. So, and tungsten. I'm probably going to have to start the episode off doing that. But I'm probably going to do it in the logistics area and just be really lazy. Because I just want to get on with this series now. I do want to start a 0.15 series. But I think I'm going to need to finish this one first. Because I just don't have the time to do both. I've played 2 hours of 0.15. And that wasn't even on my own game. That was on Arumba's and Stejo's mass lazy bastards multiplayer. I got to play for a couple of hours. I took a break from trying to catch this up. And then I went back to that and finished it. So I think that's enough babbling on for me at normal speed. This is going to be almost half an episode at normal speed, but it'll probably be a half an hour episode just to cover it. And I've kind of... Did I make some changes here? Yeah, I was going to bring these across like this and maybe do the same here. But we'll see when the factory's got upgraded. I hope there's nothing missed out that I wanted to talk about. Because I can't really edit this. I mean, I can edit bits out, stick stuff in, but this is kind of recording on OBS. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, let's up to normal speed and future me can take over. Bye-bye. What a derp, eh? What an idiot. I mean, who deletes the save games? No, it was a bit stupid, but I'll explain how I did it. Basically, to run 0.14 at the same time, I thought I could just take a copy of the Factorio game directory and that'll be it, and it'll all run separately, which did work. That worked fine. The only problem was I completely forgot. I did know in the past, because I've messed around with it before in the past, that save games are stored in your user folder in Windows in app data, and I completely forgot when I did it. I was just kind of excited about 0.15. So when I went to delete the saves, I thought I was in the 0.15 game directory. But in the game directory, that's just a shortcut to your save game folder in your user profile. and I was just trigger happy and shift deleted my saves, which is very stupid. So yeah, so I had to recover those, but because I just deleted them and played some 0.15, didn't think about it. It was only when I went back to 0.14 to go run the game and check that it was all going to work okay that I realised what I'd done. And I panicked massively. Playing 0.15 went straight out the window, and it was straight into running some recovery software I've got. I've got 2 different pieces of software I use. But yeah, I had it running all night till the next day doing a deep scan to try and find any old deleted files. It found loads of save games from, over weeks and weeks and weeks, right up to the start of the series. But pretty much all of them are corrupt, because as soon as you write data over somewhere on a hard drive that's had files deleted, you can recover them, but until they get written over, once they get written over, they become corrupt, and you can recover them, but there's no information in them. You can't use them. And I've never really used Shadow Explorer before. There's something weird Windows does with files, and there was like one save game in the past 2 months that worked, and luckily it was from like 3 or 4 episodes ago. But sadly it wasn't with all the killing I did in episode 50, so I had to do all of that again. But yeah, it's really stupid. I wish I'd just taken a backup of the saves before doing any of this, which would have been a sensible thing to do. But I kind of had it in my head that I'd just done a backup by copying the game directory. But enough about my stupid mistakes. I've created a batch file to load the game, which will take a copy of all the games in the save folder and take a copy of them and stick them on a completely separate hard drive. Another issue I've had while recording this episode, this fast bit, is in OBS I use separate soundtracks to record my mic and the game. Because I'm not recording on my mic, that track usually gets deleted, but for some reason the game sound, so there's 3 audio tracks, one with everything, so if I want to just listen to the video file I can listen to everything, one for just game sound, and then one for just my mic. And the track with the game sound about 20 seconds ago just went silent for the rest of the video. So I'm using that for the game sound and game music, but if at any point I made any noises or knocked the mic, that's going to be in the recording and I can't edit it out. And I haven't had time to listen through this audio file, so at any point there could be a weird noise or just me coughing or whatever. I'll try and edit it out, but the game will go silent if I try and cut it. So yeah, more failures for me, but I haven't had to cancel the series. When I deleted the saves and realised there was a chance I was going to get them back, I was ready to make an update video stating that that's it, it's gone. But no, I refused to give up. I spent like 15 hours trying to recover that save game. Most of it was just sat there watching a scan trying to find it, but I managed to find one, and I am determined to launch at least one rocket before I end this series, and hopefully quite a few rockets. And maybe even when all the mods get updated for 0.15, we can continue this series even further. What I've done now is I'm running 3 installs of the game. We've got my original install, which I probably won't use at all. I'm now running 2 copies of the game zipped up, so you can actually run the game in a zip file or in its own folder, and the saves and mods, everything stay local. So I'm now running one for just 0.15, that's my personal one, and if I do the series, that's where I'll play it. And then there's a whole separate folder for this, so they're completely separate from each other. So all the mods have been updated. The only odd things I've found is Warfare seems to be updated because the biters seem a lot more destructive. And for some reason, the purple science is blue. So the vials are blue, but the symbol for it is still purple. So I don't know if that's shiny bobs or something to do with bob mods. But yeah, the actual science packs themselves are blue, like in old Bob's mods. But in the menu and everything, they're purple. But it all still works, so I'm not really going to concentrate on it too much. But yeah, the UPS does kind of drop a bit in places, but it does seem to be running a lot better. So maybe whatever was causing those performance issues has hopefully been fixed or at least improved. Anyway, enough of me babbling on about things that aren't going on in the game. As per usual, what I've been doing is trying to set up production of tungsten in the logistics area, but I'm getting bots to bring all sorts up here, like nickel, the hydrogen chloride, and the hydrogen, which might be a bit crazy, but next episode or the episode after, we're going for Mark IV bots, and this episode we do a lot of the robot cargo size and speed, so we won't really have to worry about it. And to be honest, it's probably going to be faster than those ridiculously long belts we have coming from the Bob's sub-bus. This and nitinol plates I usually bring up on belts, just like all the other things on the sub-bus. But yeah, I just kind of want to get this done. And because these aren't really used in science or anything, it shouldn't be too much of a problem doing it this way. And it's probably a little bit quicker because on my last playthrough, this bit of the Bob's sub-bus was huge. I made it ridiculously big. And with modules, it really doesn't need to be that big. It's just the fluids and stuff that I'm bringing up here. Could be a little bit of an issue, but nothing we can't sort out. So we have some tungsten plates being created. This whole place is just going to be moduled up to hell, and it should run quite nicely. The other thing we need is nitinol, which we'll get on with in a moment. We get some various things set up that are made with tungsten, so we can start making the next level of chemical plants and electrolyzers, which I think we set up in a minute. I don't know. I wasn't really paying attention while I was babbling. Yeah, we have set it up, but we haven't got the materials for it. And this area just gets messier and messier. I start putting down separate requested chests for stuff just so I can be lazy and copy and paste the values. I know I've said it several times in episodes. I may rebuild this area. I might just leave it as a mess. I don't know. It depends on how much it bothers me, but this area is going to grow quite a bit because we're just going to be adding everything we need built by the factory in here. Or most of everything, I think. I'm not sure if we're going to add anything to the end of the bus now. I think we've got all our products made. It's literally streamlining our science to get towards rockets. And yeah, I think there's one more material that we need to produce in the factory. I can't remember the name of it. It's the red plates. I'm not sure if we need to do it. But yeah, we're going to be accelerating the factory very quickly now. So this episode is to get the tungsten and nitinol set up because I want to go straight from blue belts to green. I always skip purple. I don't bother with that step. I think it's just going to take up a lot of time. If we need belts improving in places, we may as well go straight for green. So then I'm going to get the factory to produce a load of green belts. This episode's all about streamlining the production of them, or hopefully streamlining the production of them. And the next episode, I'm going to either start off with doing an extra outpost for every ore, and with file, that should be a very quick process. Start off by upgrading the belts from the train station to the sorting, all the way down to smelting, improving them all there, and then collecting the ores that we're short by and doing it that way. That way, I only need to do the outposts that are more urgent than others instead of doing one of every single one when we may not necessarily need it all. So instead of me just faffing around with iron here and there, I'm going to go right from the start of the process all the way to the end and massively increase its production rate. So yeah, so hopefully after next episode, iron, copper, all the main stuff isn't going to be an issue for a while. And if it is an issue, it's going to be something major we need doing, because all the belts providing to it and from it are going to be green. They're going to be the fastest speed possible. So yeah, if we need any more throughput as far as belts are concerned, I'm going to have to either add more lines to the bus or add another smelting area. I still need to upgrade the last iron smelting area, but to be honest, the one that's now been moduled up pretty much smelts all the iron ore coming through that we're able to produce. So the shortfall there is the actual combo sorting. So we're going to massively ramp that up with green belts. So we get the purple and green belt area set up. Again, this area is a little bit messy, but it works. We put logistics values on the inserters in such a way that they'll use any belts in the system first, and then if there's none available there, it'll produce them, because we're going to be having a lot of red belt coming through. A little bit of blue belt is out there. So as we upgrade stuff, the auto trash will take those belts away from me, and it'll automatically bring me green belts to upgrade everything. But I'll probably start the episode with a huge amount in my inventory, because we are going to be doing a lot of belt upgrades. And then hopefully the episode after that, we can just spend solidly getting all the science done, streamlining the base further and further, and getting nice and close to launching rockets. I could probably drag this series out and get a lot of episodes, get up to like 100 episodes, which would be really cool. And maybe we will once the mods get updated. But I think to keep the episodes nice and interesting, we should work as quickly as we can towards launching rockets, and then just see how many rockets we can actually launch with this factory. And maybe even build more factories in a separate launching area like Bentham did in Rail World, and have trains bringing all the necessary resources for just purely launching as many rockets as we can. But I really think now 0.15's come out, I would really love to do a 0.15 series, start a new series. I've had a quick look at the settings. I want to basically make the settings as hard as I can. We're going to go for the Death World, which I think is a combination of the marathon mode which makes recipes more complex, need a lot more resources, and also maximum biters. And then in the advanced settings, I'm going to set the pollution to be a little bit vicious. I'm going to set the biters to be as difficult as possible. I was thinking of maybe also making the resources low in richness and in frequency. I'm definitely going to do the low frequency, but I think I'll keep the richness the same, maybe make the size bigger. But yeah, I want to make it as difficult as I possibly can, but not impossible, so that I don't get to a certain point and have to cancel the series. But yeah, I still want to make it as difficult as I can. But yeah, maybe a combination of the Death World settings, so Death World biters, marathon mode, and the last setting I saw in the basic list was something like Rail World, so resources are spread out as far as I can. So maybe normal richness, large size, lowest frequency we can, and Death World biters. Because biters in the 0.15 won't be anything like this on Rampant AI, or at least I hope they won't, so they'll be a bit easier to manage, but we'll see. I'll probably have a play around with the settings. I still am interested in doing a live stream. Like I said before, it's not anything I've done before, so I need to set it up, test it, make sure I get it all working properly. But I need to think of a good occasion to do it. And I was thinking maybe when we go to launch the first rocket on this factory, or maybe I get it ready to launch several, do maybe a marathon live stream in the factory. If anyone will be interested in that or have any ideas for that, that would be great. But yeah, I want to get into that a bit more. So we're currently having a look at streamlining Purple Science a bit, and it's the blue circuits or basic circuits that were causing a shortage, which is down to solder. Now I know in episode 51 I did upgrade the solder. It's one of the things I've forgotten to do with me bringing the save back to the current update, so I think I get it done pretty much the same as I did before. We get in some raw productivity, we get a beacon in with some speed modules, and we add the second belt again, because those two electronic assemblers are more than capable of filling a blue belt. I do really need to get this all upgraded to the blue, but to be honest, as we're going mad with green belts, we'll probably get it straight up to green next episode, and we can really start to accelerate science. We have done quite a bit of science in this episode. There were some points where science was getting done stupidly fast, but I think that was some of the earlier ones. But especially at the start, that was mainly because I stopped a lot of the science while I was trying to catch the episode up, and all the resources were allowed to stockpile and build up. But hopefully we can get churning through the science and getting that noise going off a lot quicker, because at normal speed you can go through the science quite quickly, so at 3 times speed it should be pretty entertaining to get to that stage. So yeah, really going to start streamlining the factory now and trying to get to end game. But that doesn't mean the end of the series straight away, but we can at least start to achieve some things. But yeah, I'm very happy that the game, that the series is still going. I was, for about 4 or 5 hours, I was ready to call it. And it was really bad timing with 0.15, because it sort of looked like me just chucking the towel in for this one just so I can get onto 0.15. But no, that's not the case. I want to get this finished and get some rockets launching. So one thing I prepared for the start of this episode were biter attacks, because the biters seem a lot more effective against defenses. And one of the first major attacks is down here. So I took this opportunity to try and display what the biter attacks are like. They're not homing, so before you could just run past a load of biters and their projectiles would chase after you and eventually speed up and catch up. But now they seem less auto-targeting, so if you're running fast enough, they will miss you. The explosions seem a lot bigger, or at least the graphics do look a lot better, but they seem a lot more effective against defenses. So I finally come and finish this area off, because I never actually finished the wall, but we also upgrade the laser turrets to Mark IV, because I have got a load of Mark IV laser turrets on me, so I do come and get these all upgraded. It's a bit of a longer episode today, mainly because I had that, I think it's about 8 minutes at normal speed, but it was just an opportunity for me to explain what had happened without the limitations or the restrictions of having to do post-commentary on pre-recorded stuff, because I can't just go and show you the map or show you what I'm talking about when doing post-commentary. So it was nice to do that a little bit. I made it a little bit more. Who knows where it gets handy. So that's the southwest defenses updated. One of the things I did in the wake of updating mods and the biters getting tougher was I did do a few laser turret upgrades. We've got plenty more to do. So laser turrets are a lot more effective, but I'm going to have to massively upgrade the power. I may still do the nuclear power mod, but I still haven't even tried to work out how it works. So I need to have a look at that if I'm going to use it, or I could just use solar and loads of steam, we'll see. But it'd be good to get that in there. So we just generally spend the rest of the episode just making sure nitinol production is going as fast as we can so we can produce these belts nice and quickly. We've got beacon in here with speed modules, but it's mainly the providing of materials to get stuff created. But yeah, I'll check through and make sure we get this running as quickly as we can. And hopefully having bots bring in loads of stuff for nitinol isn't going to be the bottleneck for this. Like I said earlier, we can get Mark IV bots in, which are absurdly fast at normal speed. I'm really excited to see what they look like at 3 times speed. I'm wondering if you're even going to be able to see them. But yeah, they're going to get pretty ridiculous because we are getting them to bring that nickel up a very long way. So I may get some nickel production done up here, which might improve things. Having it right next to here, it's probably a sensible thing to do. Instead of having them bring it all the way along the bus, it just means they'll have to bring the nickel ore over. But that will produce a lot of sulfuric acid. So if we're ever short of it, we're never going to be short of it if we're going to be using that much nickel. And we just get titanium production sped up as well, because we are going to be using a lot of that. And that is brought in by a belt. So I spend the last bit of the episode getting that belt all updated. While we're updating the belt, I also noticed there's a couple of empty belts while we're heading down. So once we've done this, we head up and check what we're short on. There's no silicon wafers, basically, and that's because silicon has completely run out. We're not doing any miscellaneous sorting to produce any, so we finally run out of the ridiculous stockpile we had. So first episode, we need to set up some combination sorting for silicon, which really isn't going to be too difficult. But that's going to be all we have time for. I do hope you have enjoyed watching, and please do come and join me next episode. Bye-bye.